You've framed your home, you've run all of your wires, and now it's time for that final stretch. But if you want your home to look like it would in a fancy magazine, it's not just about the mudding and the sanding, it's all about the prep work. So in this episode, we're going to cover minimizing your seams, the textures that you can put on your walls, and those tricky transitions for a flawless finish. The first rule of a flawless finish is less seams, and you get that by using larger drywall. So think about it this way. Drywall will come in a standard 8 foot, 10 foot, 12 foot, maybe you can even go 16 foot lengths. For this build, we decided to go with a minimum of 12 foot. And as you can see on these walls, we have very minimal vertical seams to patch up. So less seams means that there's less opportunity for human error when you're patching it up, especially all these screw holes and these transitions here. On this wall, we only used 2 sheets of drywall, and then we obviously had the height, which was limited by the fact that the drywall is only 4 feet tall. On this wall, as a comparison, we have no vertical seams, it's only the horizontals. Once again, that flawless finish is all about the size of the drywall. Once the drywall is up, you have to make a very important decision, and that's what kind of finish are you going to put on your drywall? Are you going to go with a textured look, or are you going to go with a super smooth flat finish? My favorite is that flat finish, but let's dive into those 2 options. For the textured finish, you can go with either a trowel or like an orange peel. And all that really means is that the trowel, you're going to put something over the entire drywall, adds a little bit of a thickness to it. And that super smooth finish is really just patching and sanding and patching and sanding again to make sure that the end result is super flat like a piece of paper. Now, I come from the Midwest. That's all we installed over there. Not so much here in Colorado or in the Rocky area, where they use a lot of that textured, and in some of the older homes, more of the orange peel. So for this build, what we did is we went with a very light trowel finish, and that does 2 things for us. It makes it look like the flat finish, especially with the light color on the walls, but it doesn't cost us any extra money to do than if we had gone with that super flat, smooth finish. So just a couple of things to consider there. Once again, it's all a personal decision on what you're going to put into your home. The final key to a flawless finish is managing transitions. So imagine areas like in your bathroom where you're transitioning from drywall to tile, or an area like we have here where we're going to have concrete cement tiles on this wall, but we have drywall here, and how to manage this transition. So what we did is we recessed the wall where the concrete tiles will be so that when it's finished, it will be in one flat surface. But the area in between the drywall and the concrete cement tile is not an area where you would put mud or caulking or anything like that. You want a transition point. So you want to put in a U-joint, a J-joint, an L-bead or something like that so that you don't have mud in between that, because that's prone to cracking. So once again, when everything is done, when this wall is painted and the concrete tiles are up, it will be a nice flat surface and a very nice and seamless transition that you'll never notice. So there you have it. For a flawless finish, you want to consider the size of your drywall, the textures or no textures that you'll put on your wall, and how to manage those tricky transitions. I hope that this episode helped you rethink your drywall. As always, if you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any more helpful tips. As always, around here, we say mock it up or mess it up. We'll see you next time.